Well, hello everybody. Just driving around doing work stuff. Figured I'd make a video. Thinking about it for a while now. Haven't uploaded for a while. Got a few subscribers, thank you. But what I wanted to say was this. So for quite a few years now, I've been following this story ever since I downloaded the NASA app. Basically, the asteroid Apophis is supposed to hit the Earth and cause 80% of population death in 2036. Now, that's not a very long time from now, but ever since the story came out from NASA themselves, from their own mouth, all of a sudden I can't find nothing about it. Nothing. It just got covered up and they changed their story. And since NASA technically is funded by the government, they most likely covered it up not to cause a panic, because NASA itself is actually a private company. You know, they're funded by the people. NASA used to be people for the people, you know, but they get their funding from the government. So after they released their findings, it went quiet, just quiet. I was like, holy crap, I guess we'll see what happens. Now I'm looking back through every article they wrote and everything. They silenced it. It's not there anymore. They're just saying in 2029, which is coming up pretty soon, the Apophis asteroid is supposed to fly by really close between the moon and the Earth, and you will be able to see it streak through the sky, but it won't hit the Earth. I'm like, well, and they said, oh, there's no danger, you know, blah, blah, blah. I've seen enough movies. It's gonna fly by, a piece will break off, we'll have a huge meteor shower, a lot of damage, but hey, who cares, right? There's no threat whatsoever. Gravity don't matter. So they say, no, we'll be okay. There's no issues, there's no problems. I'm like, alright, well, I guess we'll see what happens. And the way it moves in the solar system, to fly around and each time pass closer and closer and closer to Earth, at the point of measurement that they're using, basically says, back in the day, years ago, they said that it's gonna fly by closer and closer and closer, and eventually it will hit the Earth, which made sense. Now they're saying, it's just gonna magically fly really close by, and then the next pass is gonna fly on the other side of the planet and just pass us by completely. I'm like, so it's just gonna skip the entire center of Earth that you measured before. What happened to that calculation? I'm like, oh, we were wrong. I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. And then over the last few years, you know, I keep hearing all these theories, all these things about sonic booms and construction being done in the mountains, and there's videos, and the government's being really secretive, and a hell of a lot of missions to space, sending a lot of cargo up there, but no reports on what the cargo is. They're just saying, no, they're just resupplying our International Space Station. I'm like, okay, that's not right. Nope. I think those guys are building something up there, so when the asteroid does hit the Earth and kills pretty much everybody here, that they have a safe haven, they can chill for a while either underground, which is they're building their underground bunker bases and secret stuff. And no, I'm not a loony bin. I'm just saying, that's a possibility. I'm not saying I believe it, but hey, could be happening. And we're just going about our normal day, not even knowing what's gonna happen. So like I said, they covered it up, their initial findings. All of a sudden, everything off the internet just disappeared, everything. And I'm pretty positive, even if it does fly by, and if you see it in 2029, see how close it is. And remember, next pass is going to be straight to the center of the planet, and wherever it might be. As far as I don't remember, I think they said it was going to hit somewhere in the ocean, which would cause a massive flood, destroying everything, like New York, everything. That's what the biggest problem would be. But if it hits in the ground, basically what they said, it was gonna be like a big super volcano blowing up, and the earth is gonna be covered at least 10 years in cloud cover, ash and stuff. Plants are gonna die, a lot of crap's gonna go down. And it's been years, so waiting, going about my day, doing my own regular stuff, living a life, and coronavirus comes along. Yay, coronavirus. What a magical virus that came out of nowhere, and nobody's to blame. Well, let's see. Coronavirus, from my perspective, is engineered in China for a reason. And I believe that reason is... well, I'm not going to speculate. But point is, it did come from China. And it did come from a laboratory that the government was working on with China and America and Europe. And then they said, oh, this was a bat that somebody ate and got sick and transferred it. Okay, if I get sick with something unknown and new, and I gave it to my friends and family and a few people that maybe I come in contact with, that disease would take years to spread. And I mean years. It doesn't matter if you travel out of country constantly. A lot of people in the world, they don't constantly go around and hey, let me hug you, let me kiss you, let me hug you, every single person I see. So yeah, it would take years to go around, and eventually somebody will catch on and go, hey, not cool. Let's figure this out and kill the disease, cure it, something, But no, this thing spread like wildfire. This is like playing the game, that virus game, basically, plague or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. You set a virus free in the world and watch the world get killed by a virus, and then you win the game. And what am I seeing lately? What am I seeing? What have I noticed? Let's see. China wants to be their own power. China is overpopulated. So what are the chances that China maybe made this virus to control its population? Right after China said, hey, you know what? After many, many years, you can only have one kid in your family. We're going to drop that rule. Go ahead and have 2 kids now, They said, that's fine. We're overpopulated, but you can have more kids now. We're not going to be assholes about it. Why would all of a sudden there be a virus and they want to be their own power and this and this? China's going crazy about everything. I mean, they're doing things they weren't even thinking about doing for the next 50 years. I hear something about the new Chinese reform was going to be in 2046 or something like that. And all of a sudden they said, screw that. We've been feeding America and all other countries, and why don't we just do this on our own? We got more nukes than Russia, blah, 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 Anyway, so I'm thinking China did this shit on purpose. And what I hear lately is that this virus is quite airborne and is mutating, and the mutation becoming more airborne, let's just say that way. And we got an idiot president, from my opinion, don't have to take my word for it, and everything is being covered up. So, yeah, we're all good. That's fine. Just be a happy family and do what your parents tell you. That's what the president's trying to do. At the same time, did you see how he freaking salutes? That's just my personal opinion. When Hitler goes like this with his hand, like Heil Hitler or whatever, Trump's doing the same thing, like, ha! I'm like, what the? Tell me that ain't. Anyway, enough about Trump. But from what I'm seeing, I'm gonna say for 100% certainty, the world's going to hell. There's a lot of things that are gonna be happening, and the next 10 years, you need to stock up and prepare, because the next 10 years is going to be the most horrible 10 years humanity has ever experienced. And after 10 years, 9 years now, most likely we're going to see the end of Earth. I'm not a God guy, but from what I understand and hear is that first God sent the flood, and then the God said he's going to burn the earth. So first there was a flood, and supposedly there was a flood, and now he's going to burn it. And I'm seeing lately these things, right? The solar system in our Milky Way galaxy has shifted. It has moved. It is moving in a different direction. 1. 2. Our Earth is experiencing perihelion. That's what it's called. It's basically when it gets closer to the sun, and every so many years it gets closer to the sun, it gets hotter, it gets drier. But these next 10 years is the cycle when the Earth gets closer to Earth. Then the coronavirus hits. Pollution goes down, but the Earth keeps getting hotter. Makes sense. We're getting closer to the sun at this point. So that didn't help anything. Bunch of other theories, But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my theories and the research I've done, the things I've seen. And what do you think? Are we going to be alive in 10 years? Are we going to be alive in 10 years? I don't think so. I think in the next 10 years, we're all going to die, period. There's no saving anybody. And that's why the government's being so quiet. So I looked up the nearest, deepest, safest let's just say, mine shafts near me. And there's one somewhere in Duluth, Minnesota. Used to be a gold mine. It is closed now, but it's deep enough and safe enough that you can actually hide there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start saving enough money to pile some stuff up. And if the world doesn't end, the world doesn't end. But if it is some crazy shit's gonna happen, I gotta find somewhere to survive. And to survive somewhere, it's gotta be secluded, away from everybody. If it's a virus, if it's a meteor strike, it's gotta be deep enough somewhere that I can survive without being on the surface of the planet. If it's something else, blah blah blah, this and that, you gotta figure it out. But let me know what you think about what I'm thinking about, what I'm seeing. What are you seeing in the world's going on? To each his own. Not saying I'm gonna argue with you about it, but I am saying do your research, look around. The world's going to shit. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, supposedly I'm supposed to say subscribe if you like this video. Alright, thanks.